Dylan Brown to the Roosters. Dylan Brown $13 million offers on the table. Yes, we're going to hear about it here right now. What is actually happening right now? Is there an imminent signing going to happen shortly? Or is this just going to drag on, and drag on? Well, I think there's 3 clubs in the running outside of Parramatta. And I think there could be a smoky for the one that's going to get there. We're also in this episode going to talk about each team's best recruit and what chances they are helping them make and win the grand final. And then I'll give my top 5 who I think are the top 5 recruits for this season for the clubs out there. Let's get to it here at the Barry Charles Footy Show. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the video, but let's get to it. Dylan Brown, what is happening? Yes, folks, Dylan Brown shining the check with the Roosters. No. Yes, the Sydney Roosters are interested in Dylan Edwards. That is absolutely clear. But they are not the ones that have put the $13 million offer. And they're questioning whether to even make an offer because if he's interested in those offers, the Roosters are not going anywhere near that. Roosters will only look at a 3-4 year deal for Dylan Brown because that's the type of club they are. They're not looking at long term. Doesn't mean the Roosters won't go there, but I seriously doubt it. But the team I'm hearing, it's not the only one. There's 2 teams I'm got in the back of my mind after what I've heard, is Manly Seagulls, folks. Manly Seagulls, from what my sources, is the other team offering the $13 million for 10 years. Yes, indeed. They are desperate for a gun. That's my hearing. DC is about to retire, and it could be this season. Hence why the big signing situation is here to partner Luke Brooks. Is that exciting enough? I don't know. You also, of course, got Newcastle with Kalen Ponga. Does Dylan Brown want to go there? I think for the Kalen Ponga factor, yes, but the number 7 jersey and living in Newcastle. Who's going to play number 7 for Newcastle? It's just madness. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do there. If we did go there. But there is there's actually 2 other teams that are, who could potentially want. The Cowboys, of course. The Cowboys are another team that would have the money to spend to look at a Dylan Brown. Would he want to go interstate? Would he want to travel? All the talk is that he likes the limelight. If he does, then it's either going to be the Roosters or Manly. If he wants the flash areas, the Bondis, or the Northern Beaches, that's where he's going. But there is one other team that I cannot name, and they potentially are in the running, but I seriously doubt he's going to choose that option, but it would be an exciting option for that club. But I don't see that one happening, and you probably can guess who it is, but I cannot label them because we're not going to ruin any chances of signing him for that club. But yes, it's going to be interesting situation going forward there, but I believe Manly is the team that are offering the $13 million for 10 years. So let's have a look at what's happening outside of that. Well, obviously Las Vegas is coming up, but well, I thought I'd give you my top from each club, who are the top recruit for 2025. Let's get to it. Let's see who rocks the boat here. Well, we better start it off here with the Brisbane Broncos. Yes, the Brisbane Broncos. Benny Hunt. Yes, can he lead them to the promised land in 2025? We know his heroics in the 2015 final. Drops the ball. So do you want that type of player 10 years on? He should be a lot better, but he choked with the Dragons. So that's the question mark here. But I'm not saying he's not a good player. Don't get me wrong. But he didn't lead the Dragons to the promised land. So what does it mean for Ben Hunt? Well, I think he's a huge inclusion he's a big inclusion. And he's potentially, and all the talk about is he's going to end up playing hooker. But more than likely, I think he's going to end up being the number 7. Because Adam Reynolds is injury prone and more than likely going to get injured. And Ben Hunt will be playing a lot of number 7 when he's playing 7 near the grand final stage if they get to that space, which I expect they'll get close. And then obviously time will tell. But Ben Hunt will be good because he can cover those few positions. If his Ramam doesn't return well, he can play there as well. So they've got all of that position covered. So Ben Hunt is a very good signing. But yeah, preliminary final at worst for the Broncos for Ben Hunt signing, because they should be going close to a final. The Canberra Raiders. Yes, the Canberra Raiders. Well, gotta say it's probably one of the weakest ones, but could turn out to be one of the brilliant ones. Owen Paddy. From a week ago, was not even in the top 30, a development player. Now he's in the top 30. Now he's playing in Vegas. The hooking supremacist, what we're talking about, he could be a future, rookie of the year. But what is he going to do for his team? I surely think the Raiders won't make the 8 this year, and I'm not expecting big things from them. So the Raiders have not really signed anyone of great note to be a chance. But I have heard that he could be like the next Steve Walters. That's what I've been hearing out there, so we'll see if he goes to that level. Canterbury Bulldogs. They haven't signed a lot, to be honest. They signed a lot last year, but this time, and I'm taking more of a rookie approach. Cyan Maeu to have a breakout season from the Warriors to the Bulldogs. Stunning sensation. I think people were saying Cyan Maeu should have been playing this week in Las Vegas. Well, it's not happening. He's at the Bulldogs. And I think he's going to have a standout season coming off the bench, and he's going to be a star on the rise. What does that mean for the Bulldogs? Is he going to have much impact in there overall? Probably not. But he's going to be a solid player for them. But yeah, the Bulldogs are probably still, I still think, a top 8. I think they overachieved last year, but they're a top 8 chance team. I don't think they're guaranteed to make the top 8. But the Canterbury Bulldogs could prove me wrong and go to another level. The Cronulla Sharks, yes, well, you could argue they're probably one of the better signings of the year. Adam Fanua-Blake, yes, the prop sensation went to another level with the Warriors and to the Sharks. Can he deliver on the premiership? Well, all I can say is abso-damn-lutely. Worst case scenario for this team is preliminary final, but I expect the Sharks to go close to making the grand final. They can do it. But the only query, as I've said numerous times, is the Will Kennedy factor, whether or not they can get it done. But I believe the Sharks are a big hope and expect top 4 finish for them. And yeah, I think, top 4 finish would be fine, but I think a grand final would be, yes, this Adam Fanua-Blake was a great signing. Manly Seagulls, you're struggling straws a little bit as well here with this team of Jazz Tavaga. I put him as their best signing. He'll bring a bit more razzle-dazzle to the lock and potentially hooker position for what I've seen in selections. But, yeah, I'm not sure he's the answer at hooker. But he's going to be very versatile. But sometimes the silly errors and giving away penalties could be costly going forward. But, yeah, Manly should be aiming for a top 8, that's for sure. But he's not a winning signing. He's not going to win you the premiership. Melbourne Storm, have they got the final piece of the puzzle? Stefano Ukatumai. Sorry, I smashed his last name. But yes, he is absolutely on fire. I mean, I think the insane improvement in this guy, wow. And to be honest, he's brought here. They haven't changed much otherwise. Well, Nelson, if they're in the final, Melbourne got to be the team to beat. They are definitely up there with the teams to beat when you add Stefano. And we will see, but he's there to win a premiership. Nothing else. That's what they need. Newcastle Knights, wow. They really haven't got any signings on note, to be honest. You could go Matt Arthur and James Schiller. They're all hooker sort of halfback sort of signings, but nothing to write home about. And they got the worst signings of the season, the Knights. And that's why they won't make the top 8, in my opinion. Now, the Warriors. Yes. No doubt about it, James Fisher-Harris is their top signing. There's no doubt about it. He's going to bring the culture. He'll bring an improved defence, I believe. He's going to bring a lot to the table, and he is one of the big signings of the year. But I think a little bit of a sneaky player for Rookie of the Year, and there's talk that he might play Las Vegas on Sunday, Sam Healey. There's talk this guy is the next superstar, potentially as good as Harry Grant. This is the talk out there. Blake Brayley is behind them there, but Sam Healey, this is what I'm hearing. Doesn't mean it's 100% true, we will see, but he could be a standout performer for Rookie of the Year and be an interesting bench selection like a Freddie Lussick was. So, but for the Warriors, for me, obviously James Fisher-Harris, you can put him in there. They're a top 8. They're a top 8 chance, but James Fisher-Harris yes, you can add him saying he could get you to a premiership. Top 4, yes. Sam Healey, I'm going to say top 8. But yes, they're 2 critical signings for the Warriors. Let's head on to the Cowboys. Yes, giddy up the Cowboys. John Bateman is their big signing. More off the field than maybe on the field. Has he gone past his use-by date? We will see. But from what I can gather, he's good with the players. He's good to be around. So John Bateman is there. But I was struggling to see them making the top 8. But he's believed to be a hard worker and should help out this team. Parramatta Eels, well, they got a lot of good signings. Let's be honest, you could pick 3 or 4 here. But I'm thinking a little bit more outside the square. I'm talking about overall Parramatta, Glamour Club. Give it to the social media side, the fans' perspective, off the field, Josh Adokar. Absolutely, I know he's stuffed up, but in terms of what he brings, the likability he has, the magnetic charisma he has with the fans, he is their biggest signing. But I think Zach Lomax by the end of the year might be their best signing because he's going to end up being put back on the wing. Because he needs to be on the wing. I think he'd be wasted the centre, and Parramatta might struggle with him in centre. For the trials to look like that, put him back on the wing, let him do his magic, and he could be unbelievable. Those are the 2. But yeah, interesting. They've got a squad that's probably nearly top 8 material. Hooker position is probably an issue though. And that's probably what might cost them, but it's going to be interesting times ahead. Penny Panthers, yes, well, there's Isaiah Papali'i, but Blaise Talangi for me. He's not playing this weekend, but I expect by the end of the year, he will be a prominent role in this team, whether it's at centre, wing, 5'8", or on the bench. He will be in the 17 somewhere, unless he does something stupid, and he's not training hard enough, which there is a bit of arguments that he's not, so we will see. But Blaise Talangi for me will be in there somewhere, and if he delivers, he can be part of the reason why they win a 5-peat. South Sydney Rabbitohs. Well, the number 7. Yes, I'm tipping it right here. Jamie Humphries is going to be the number 7, be the star of the show, and Lewis Dodd is going to be the duddest signing ever from England. I hope that's not the case, but from all talks around the traps is potentially what's going to happen, and it will make life interesting going forward with this club. But let's be honest, the Rabbitohs aren't making the 8 in 2025. I don't think now. Dragons. Well, I've tipped them to get the wooden spoon, but from the trials, they won't be getting the wooden spoon. But hey, you got to tip, rather tip before the trials. I think that's fair enough. You can look at trials and put that all in there, but I think you just got to tip on paper. And the paper is not bad. But what I probably didn't do enough of thinking of is Cook, Holmes, and Guffo will bring intensity to training, and it'll push the other teams up. They're not lazy trainers, and that's why they will bring a lot to the club. But I've gone with King Guffo. Yes, I think Guffo, he'll bring the most out of them. One of the captains, he leads by example. And if the Dragons start to make the top 8, it'll be on the back of him for sure. And they are a chance to. The Sydney Roosters, well, Chad Townsend. Well, he's at the back end of his career, but he needs a big showing here for the Roosters to have any chance of making the top 8. Because if he is not at his best, the Roosters are going to be close to winning Spooners. On the trials, form not good, but they still have a good team on paper, especially top 13. If they get everything right, even without the Brandon Smith, Sam Walker injured, this is a chance for the Roosters to put something in, and Chad Townsend has a big role to play. If he chokes, the Roosters will be choking. We will see how that goes going forward. The Roosters obviously have Joey Manu, and he could end up being their best signing of the year if he comes back and they make a run into the top 8. The Dolphins, yes, Daniel Saifiti is their big signing, but he's not really going to make much of an impact, to be honest. And the Dolphins should be closer to the bottom of the table, I believe. And then, yes, finally, the Tigers. Jerome Luai, you can argue he is the biggest signing of the year. I think he is the biggest signing of the year, but I don't think he's going to have the biggest impact. If he was going to a topper club, yes. Say he was going to the Warriors, for instance. I'm not saying they're a top club, but I'm saying the Warriors, with the squad they got, you add Luai to that mix, well, they are a top 4 chance. Same with the Bulldogs. You put them in some clubs that are higher up on the table, then look out. But with the West Tigers, I think your expectations can't be so high. I'll be stunned if they make the top 8. If he does it, congratulations. Outstanding work. Absolutely head off to you. But that ain't happening. It could happen, but I doubt it. I really doubt it. I just don't know if they've got enough quality players in their squad to make their jump. I think they will jump off the bottom, that's for sure. But to think they're going to make the top 8 is probably, well, it'll be a miracle. Funnier things have happened, but I just don't see it. But he's still going to have a big impact, don't get me wrong. He's going to score more points than most of his teammates, that's for sure. So let's wrap up this video and give me your top 5 players for the clubs to put on there. You could probably go slash with this first one, but I put on Sam Healy, but obviously James Fisher-Harris. But I think the Warriors will have the 5th best impact from their key signing. Guffo, I think he's going to have a big chance with the Dragons, and they might make the top 8. Jerome Luai is clearly going to be a big signing for the Tigers. But is he going to win on the premiership? No. But these 2 other players, number 2 and number 1, have been brought to the team to win the premiership. Don't get it twisted. Both of these players have been picked to be the alpha dogs, and they are the 2 teams that I expect. One of them will be in the grand final. I don't know which one. The Melbourne Storm, I'm tipping them to win the whole thing. Add Stefano in there, so he's my number 2. But I think Alan Fanua-Blake will have the most impact, and you will see the Sharks winning more games against the top opposition. And look out, Alan Fanua-Blake could deliver a title for the Sharkies fans out there. So that is my top 5. You can have your say and see if it's different to mine. That's what it's all about. It's all about having an opinion here at Rugby League, here at Barry Charles Footy Show. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll be back with another video soon.